Let's imagine a game where it feels like the rules always favor the same few players, leaving others struggling just to keep up. This isn't just a game for many Americans. It's their daily reality with the economy. Across the country, people are saying the economy seems unfair, making life harder for them while others get richer. Think about having to choose between buying food or gas because your money can't cover both. This tough choice is what many face as prices keep going up, making everything more expensive. Someone from Kentucky said, "It feels like regular folks can't get ahead. It's all about who's making more money." Despite some people finding better jobs, the dream of feeling safe and stable remains out of reach for many. Even a small surprise bill could ruin their careful budget. This isn't just about numbers and big economic ideas. It's about real people trying to find a way to feel secure and fair in today's America.
What elements of the economy are unfair in your analysis?
I think there are two things about how our economy is skewed toward those at the top. And one of them is the importance of family advantage.
Most Democrats say that the economy is rigged, and we saw that in this polling too. Most Democrats feel that the economy is unfair.
For next year, are you optimistic about the global economy or pessimistic?
Pessimistic.
Pessimistic.
In today's world, some people say the economy is doing great. They point to big numbers like how much money the country makes or how many jobs exist. But take a closer look. For many Americans, this prosperity feels like a mirage, something that looks real from afar but disappears when you try to grab it. Think of it like this. Everyone's at a giant feast, but only a few get to eat their fill. Meanwhile, others are told, "Look at all this food, isn't it wonderful?" But what good is a feast if you can't reach the table? That's the illusion of prosperity. It's being told everything is fine while finding it harder to buy what you need because prices keep climbing. Groceries, rent, and even keeping the lights on take a bigger slice of people's paychecks. A report mentioned in June showed more people are having trouble paying for their car than during the big financial crash years ago. Credit card debts are sky high, and more families can't afford enough food. This isn't just numbers on a page, it's real life for millions. The pinch is felt more in some communities and places. For example, Black and Hispanic families and people living in rural areas often find the economic game tougher than others. They see jobs and opportunities passing by out of reach and worry not just for themselves but for their towns and neighborhoods. The big question is, why does this gap exist? It's because the economy's story isn't just about how much money is being made, but who benefits from it. And right now, that story has many feeling left out, staring at a prosperity that seems just beyond reach. In America today, the gap between the rich and everyone else is growing. This isn't just about some people having more money. It's about how the rules of the economy make it hard for many to catch up or feel secure. First, think about jobs. Even when people find work, often the pay isn't enough. Prices for things like food and rent go up faster than wages. So, even working hard and saving money feels like an impossible task. This makes it tough for families to plan for the future or deal with unexpected costs like a car breaking down. Then, there's the issue of loans and credit cards. For many, these are the only ways to handle big expenses or emergencies. But the interest rates are high, which means people end up paying a lot more than they borrowed. This can trap them in a cycle of debt. Another big problem is housing. Safe and affordable places to live are hard to find. When rent takes up most of your paycheck, there's little left for other needs. This is especially tough in cities, where the cost of living is high, but so are the opportunities for better jobs. Lastly, the health of the economy is often measured by things like the stock market, but this doesn't tell the whole story. A rising stock market benefits those who have investments, but many Americans don't. So even when news reports talk about economic growth, it doesn't mean everyone is doing better. These issues create a big gap in how Americans live. Some have a lot, while others struggle just to get by. This gap isn't about people not working hard enough. It's about how the economy's rules don't give everyone the same chance to succeed. In every corner of the country, there are stories of people who feel left behind. They work hard yet struggle to make ends meet. Their voices often go unheard, overshadowed by headlines of economic growth and prosperity. But their experiences paint a different picture of America. Consider the single parent in Chicago, barely making enough to stay above the eligibility cutoffs for aid. Despite working tirelessly, this parent faces a constant battle against rising costs, making it harder to provide for their child. Then there's the teacher in rural Tennessee who describes living on the edge of disaster. Despite being at their economic best, they're just one unexpected bill away from financial turmoil. It's a sentiment echoed across states, from factory workers to healthcare aides, all feeling the pinch of an economy that seems to favor the few over the many. In Indiana, a human resources employee talks about the uncertainty of tomorrow. Being financially stable isn't about being rich, they say. It's about being able to handle daily needs without worry. Yet, this basic security feels increasingly out of reach for many. These stories are not just individual tales of hardship, but a chorus of Americans calling for change. They highlight a system that seems rigged, where the rules of the game feel skewed against those not at the top. As the narrative unfolds, it becomes clear the promise of prosperity remains elusive for too many, leaving them to wonder if their voices will ever truly be heard. In America, politics and the economy are tightly woven together. Politicians often talk about how their plans will fix the economy, but sometimes their words and actions seem to create more division than solutions. Imagine two teams playing a game where instead of working together to win, they spend more time arguing over the rules. This is what happens in politics when it comes to the economy. One side might say, lower taxes will make everyone richer. The other side argues, we need to spend more on programs to help people. These debates can get very heated. They see politicians arguing on TV, but don't see changes in their own lives. For example, someone working two jobs might still struggle to pay for basics like food and rent. They might wonder, why can't the politicians agree to make things better? The problem is, without working together, it's hard to solve big problems. When politics focus more on winning arguments than fixing issues, the everyday American feels the pinch. People start to lose faith in the system. They think, if the leaders can't agree on how to help us, will things ever get better? In the end, the economy isn't just about numbers. It's about real people and their lives. When politics get in the way, it's important to remember that behind every statistic, a person is trying to make ends meet. To improve things, it might be time for politicians to listen more to these voices and work together to find solutions. It's clear that for a truly prosperous nation, everyone must find their footing, not just those at the top. So what part can each person play in building an economy that lifts everyone? Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, consider watching Escaping America's Consumerism Epidemic. This video continues the conversation, exploring how shifting away from a culture of constant buying can lead to a more sustainable economy. The road to economic fairness is paved with the actions and voices of individuals. By becoming more informed and involved, anyone can contribute to shaping a future where prosperity is a shared experience, enriching the lives of all, not just a privileged few.